Alright guys, I just want to say that Phil Schiller from Apple still hasn't contacted me back yet. I'm getting salty about it because, I'm his #1 fan, and I actually made a Siri shortcut that when I click happy, it actually goes and searches up Phil Schiller. And as you can see, I'm really salty he hasn't contacted me back, but it's all good. But speaking about Phil Schiller, Apple as a company did something very strange, and they almost ripped off a lot of people, but at the same time, not really. It only really affects iPhone 10 users and people who are selling iPhone 10 cases. And what they did actually was they made it so, technically speaking, an iPhone 10 case will not fit on an iPhone 10s, and it all has to do with the camera sensor on the back. So technically speaking, on a new case, such as the Apple leather silicone case that I have here, the camera cutout that's right here for it is technically larger on an iPhone 10s case than on the iPhone 10. So technically speaking, the iPhone 10 has a larger camera, which is fine and okay. But the thing is now is that technically speaking, iPhone 10s cases will fit on an iPhone 10, but iPhone 10 cases will not fit on an iPhone 10s. Now people can make their own assumption. This is my opinion. I think this is another way of Apple trying to take money from our pockets and put it in theirs, and this is 100% my logic. And the reason being, and if this was the only thing they did, then I would be like, okay, whatever, maybe it's just a mistake or something. But the fact that they actually went out and removed the dongles, their best-selling item from Best Buy, and I think their #1 most sold thing ever, I don't even know, one of their best-selling things, they removed it from the box, so then people have to go out and buy it. It's just ridiculous. And they did the same thing with the cases. So people who have the iPhone 10 like me and who are going to upgrade, they're going to have to go and buy a new case, which is fine. Which is perfectly fine. It's not a problem in and of itself. But I think it's just kind of petty because they could have, honestly, I think they could have just made it the same exact size. I mean, they had to really go out of their way in order to make it a little bit bigger if you think about it. The only thing I potentially could see yourself, if you want to keep the same case, is maybe cutting off a little bit of the case here. But even that's kind of trashy. You shouldn't have to do that yourself. You should just be able to get a case. But if you really want to get at Apple, you can just cut down your case right here and then still use the same case. But if you have a battery charging case or you have something like that, technically speaking, it's not going to be able to work on an iPhone 10 in and of itself because the camera sensor is just a little bit bigger. If you had a case like I did, if you remember I made that battery wireless charging video as a sponsored one, a case like that, you can't necessarily cut out the camera because it's hard plastic, and if you cut it, it's just going to be it's not going to look good. You're going to have $1,000 phone, but you're going to have a case that looks like it got beat up. In a case like this though, the Apple silicone case, it is really flexible, and I'm pretty sure you can cut through it. But even at that point, I don't know if you'd want to do it in and of itself because it just doesn't look as good. It's you're going to have a super expensive phone, but it's just going to look super trashy with the trash case. So now this means that Apple technically is selling different iPhone XS cases. And if you remember going from the iPhone 6 to the iPhone 6s, all the cases worked. Pretty much all the S-series upgrades, all the cases worked previously. I believe the iPhone 3GS had the same case. I don't really remember. The iPhone 4S had it. The iPhone 5S had it. The iPhone 6S had it. Now we have the iPhone XS, but now these cases will not work on an iPhone 10, which is so dumb. It's just it's so evident that Apple, how are they thinking of us as consumers at that point? Why would they want us purposely to go out and get new cases? And you can't say, oh, it's because they want us to have the best experience or something. I don't know. It's literally they just want to get more money from us. And it's kind of petty for them to do that. But as a company, it's kind of smart because people are going to get it and do it anyway. But really, that is my opinion. And from what I know and from what I heard, apparently iPhone 10 cases will not work on the iPhone XS. And they honestly kind of did the same thing with the iPhone XS Max. I felt like iPhone 8 Plus cases could fit on an iPhone XS Max, but then I kind of remember that they have completely different cameras, so it won't work anyway. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. If you have any questions, if you agree with me or disagree with me, leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your opinion. I'm pretty surprised about this, actually. The dongle thing was one thing, but then they did this case thing, and that's just so petty of them for them to do that. Leave your condolences in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber we get really does count, and I'm going to get the iPhone XS literally tomorrow or the day after, so definitely keep it locked down on the channel. I'm doing tons of comparisons. You guys are practically going to feel like you own the phone after I'm done making these videos. Also, check out the links in the description. My second channel, Alpaca, go subscribe to that. I'm dropping tons of battery comparisons on iOS 12 and all those types of things. I just ordered the iPhone 8 Plus and all those phones. And I'm going to start doing iOS reviews on those on the second channel, so keep it locked down on there. But check out my Twitter and Instagram, but more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.